Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul Mackay, one of the founders and owners of Analogue Wonderland, and today I'm here to talk to you about Kodak Gold, a wonderful film, and now, as of last year at the time of recording, available in 120 as well as the ever popular 35mm. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the film, what our community says about it and how we feel that it works really well in your photography shooting habit, then stick around and we'll go through it all with you in just a minute. Whether you are new to film photography or a long-time analog enthusiast, our channel covers all things film, from tips and tricks, film reviews to how-to videos. Subscribe now and keep those notifications turned on so that you never miss a beat. Happy shooting! So, Kodak Gold. It has been around in 35mm in a couple of different forms for several decades and is one of the most popular colour films in that format. As of last year, so in 2022, Kodak recognised that popularity and brought it out in medium format in 120 rolls as well. They sell in packs of 5 as well as these single rolls, and it has done brilliantly well in that format as well as in 35mm. So let's talk about why it is so popular. Kodak Gold is one of Kodak's consumer films. That's how they sort of bracket it, which puts it in the same bucket as Colour Plus, as Ultramax, as Pro Image, versus Ektar, Portra, Ektachrome, those kind of films. Now the reason it sits in consumer is that it is slightly more affordable and also the emulsion is not quite as high tech. Now that's not necessarily something to worry about. I think if you shoot a lot of film and then you move from Gold to Portra and back again, you will notice some differences, which we'll talk through. But there are also some differences versus Colour Plus and Ultramax within the consumer bracket as well. So we'll start there. So it is a 200 speed film. So immediately you're thinking it's going to need a bit more light than Ultramax at ISO 400. But it's the same as Colour Plus 200. Slightly more premium than Colour Plus, and what you get there is you get slightly better colours. So when you compare them like for like, Colour Plus can sometimes look a little bit muted if the sunshine isn't quite bright enough. Gold is slightly better at picking out vibrancy even when the light isn't necessarily perfect. It isn't as good as Portra and Ektar. It isn't quite as nuanced as those ones either. Ektar with really vibrant greens and nature colours, Portra with tends towards the portrait skin colours and things. So it's not as specialist as those, but it is a really fantastic film. Versus Ultramax, it gives a very, very similar look. So really when you compare Gold and Ultramax, the most important thing is really the lighting situation because of the different film speeds. So if I was going into a restaurant or a pub, or it was a bit of a gloomy winter's day, I would lean towards Ultramax. If I was heading to the beach or up a mountain skiing with beautiful blue skies, or a studio situation, I would lean towards Gold, knowing that I would benefit then from the different speeds. Like for like, they have a very similar look. Both of them benefit from Kodak's nudge towards the warmer side of the colour spectrum, so you will get gorgeous golds, you'll get gorgeous reds coming through, and that is true as well in 120. The emulsion is of course the same across 35mm and 120, but the difference is the image size. The negative size of a medium format photo is clearly a lot bigger than 35mm. So even though they are both Kodak Gold photos, if you shot the same scene on both 35mm and 120, you would get better detail from 120. You would see finer grain when looking at it on a comparable print, and that's purely coming from the larger image size. In medium format, Gold sits a little bit more by itself because there isn't Colour Plus, Pro Image or Ultramax. There is Gold, and then there are the professional Ektar's Portras, which makes it the most affordable colour film in the Kodak range. And therefore, not only a brilliant one to shoot and enjoy as part of your overall portfolio, but particularly if you are learning about 120 and you have picked up maybe a Holga or a Diana or a second-hand camera and you're just looking to learn and play with it, you might want to start with a roll of Kodak Gold. You can take risks without worrying too much about the cost versus putting a Portrait 100 straight in or a slide film. So you can learn to play around with colour film in 120 really easily. And also if you've picked up a new camera, say from a second-hand shop or car boot sale or from West Yorkshire Cameras, and you want to just put a roll of film through it and just see how the camera responds, sort of a test roll kind of situation. Again, now we have Kodak Gold that we can use for that kind of situation. Knowing as well that if the camera behaves as well as you would hope it would, then the results you'll get will be absolutely fantastic as well. So there we go. Now, it's one of the most popular. I said that at the beginning, and we have, I think, at the moment, over 400 5-star reviews on our website just about Kodak Gold. It's probably more than that by the time you're watching this today. I'll read out a couple of the main themes that sort of come through. People talk about it having really punchy colours, colours that pop, comes out quite a lot as well. And I think that goes back to give it the right light and it will definitely respond and give you those brilliant results in return. The film is lovely and warm. The first colour film I used, again, we'll hear this quite a lot where people have moved into film photography, and it's a wonderful place to start. During sunny summer days, the shots come out great. I love the results. They have a golden tinge, a really glowy, warm light. I bought 2 rolls and can't wait to shoot the next one already. It has a certain vintage look. I love its warm colours. One warning, it can be quite reactive to artificial lighting. I found it turns green in fluorescent light, but it does brilliantly with natural lighting in studio. And that would be expected. So if you were going to take it into a really difficult lighting situation, you wouldn't expect it to perform as well as the professional premium films, but it will do brilliantly in most of the situations. And the vintage look as well comes from, there is a definite grain that is present that might not be present in, say, a slide film. It is there, and that's part of what makes it such a wonderful photographic film right from the start. There we go. A quick rundown of Kodak Gold in 35mm and 120. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions or thoughts, please pop them below. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon.